All right. Do you want to kick us off?
Well, did you? Yeah, I don't know if because this is different from your usual videos. I don't know if you wanted to start by saying what the topic was, or
Oh, yeah. Hey,
what
how
you
about I
doing?
be professional? Well, you want to introduce the topic since you're clearly better at this today than I am?
No, it's your channel. It's your problem.
Okay, my problem. All right, not my privilege, my problem. Got it. All right, so welcome everybody. We are back to discuss more lists. Today we are going to talk about games of no determined numerical value that we regret playing. So, with that, as is a tradition, we're going to let our guest go first. And
All right. Games I regret playing. I'm gonna start off with I don't even remember what the full title was, but it's Kena or
Bridge of
Kenna.
Spirits.
Yeah, that one.
And everyone I've ever heard says Kina. So,
Yeah. I can't remember if it was you that suggested I play it that I might enjoy. I mean, I knew going in it was a happy Zelda-esque looking game that would eventually become a Souls-like. But I did not realize just to what quality of Souls-like it would reach. And
even at a lower difficulty, right?
it's one of the few times I will admit I flat out went down to the easiest difficulty and I still got my butt kicked left and right on that game.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, hardest difficulty is Souls like. It's just crushing
Yeah.
from top to bottom.
That being said, I mean, I made it about 90% of the way through the game before I just said, screw it, I just want to be done.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I got past the first boss. I went, this is tough. Easy.
That works.
But just, yeah. It started off fun. It started off enjoyable. It's like, okay, well, I know it gets difficult, but and it didn't just get difficult. It got to, again, Souls-like aren't my style of game. I will fully admit that. I'm not on the get good style of gamer. I'm on the enjoy it style and did not enjoy at all.
So, do you regret playing it or wish you didn't play it just because it wasn't worth the stress?
Yes, I regret playing it because in the end, the difficulty spikes and everything made it no longer fun. It ruined the small amounts of fun I did have. And it just all around was just like, this could have been very good, but no, they just had to go. They had to go Disney Souls edition.
Gotcha. I will admit it's on my list of games to play, but it scares me.
Well, to date, when we record this, after you're done with Cuphead, I'd be curious to see.
After Cuphead, I got Hollow Knight. I have a whole list of fan requests that I'm trying to get done. So it'll be a while, but it is on my personal, like, I gotta try it because I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't enjoy your suffering, but because you had such a bad time with it, part of me's like, well, now I have to see what this is about. And it's not to be like, oh, well, see, I beat it, so you're just bad. It's like, really, how bad is it? Because you had strong reactions.
And I won't lie, I'm not a fan of the die. I mean, it's the Souls-like genre, or whatever the correct terminology is. I'm not a fan of die 50 times to learn the pattern.
Yeah. Man,
I
that's what I'm
don't
doing
mind
right
having to
now.
learn a pattern, but I don't like the fact that I have to die 50 times to learn the properness of the pattern.
Yeah. And in Souls likes, I don't know if it's like this in Kena, but in Souls likes, there's consequences for dying. So it's not like Cuphead where it's like, oh, I died, I'll just restart and everything's fine. No, like you take a penalty. You dared to die while you were learning, so you are penalized.
Yep.
It's a good entry point. So I had a list, and apparently the me that made the list was very sleep deprived because now none of that list makes any sense. I don't know what headspace I was in. If I drank or smoked, I would wonder what I was drinking or smoking, but I can only blame it on sleep deprivation. So I'm going to make my list up off the top of my head as we go, and that means that it's going to be tinted or tainted or slanted towards what I'm currently going through. And what I'm currently going through, I know it hasn't hit the channel as of this recording. It might have by the time this video comes out. I have a feature now where I'm working back through my backlog again, because as you remember, I had it down below 1,500 trophies and at like 83% completed, and it's abhorrent.
Then you stopped.
Yeah, then I started this YouTube channel, and I started flitting around and trying things and getting frustrated and had deadlines, and I've since figured it out. You know me, I'm still of the didn't like this, moving on. It's not worth hating it to get it done. But so all of that to say, I'm working on backlog stuff. So a lot of these are probably going to be I regret playing it because now I have to clean it up. But the first one I'm going to say is going to be different than that. And I regret playing every single game I ever played on Facebook or social media, like Farmville or Wordle or whatever. And the reason I regret it is twofold. One, they were a stupendous waste of time when I could have been doing something better. And two, I'm pretty sure all of those things steal your data, like your info. So I probably get half
Not
of
that
my...
cheese mouse catching game.
I know, right? So now I probably get half of my spam calls because I wanted to be a virtual farmer on Facebook. And then they push you to play with your friends and push stuff on your friends because, you know, they need to steal their data too. So you can't even do things on your own. So every one of those games, you get to a certain level of completion. And then it's like, well, until you have 14 friends and you all work on this barn together, you're done. So
Look, we found a new way to do the pyramid scheme, and you will comply.
that's right. So look, I admit it. For a lot of those, I was young, younger. I was ignorant, and I hadn't really matured as a gamer. But I regret playing all of them. I actually kind of regret even having a Facebook. Well, not quite, because I got to interact with some cool people on there. Because you guys don't know me, because I don't use Facebook anymore. I use X, but I used to interact with authors and other people that normally you couldn't get a hold of other than Facebook. But other than that, I regret it.
Probably. I have definitely not played this game in a little while because I keep pushing the wrong buttons.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Just so you guys know, we haven't played this since that last video, which you guys saw last week. But for us, it's been
At least a
2,
month.
3 weeks. Okay, a month. He says a month. I'll go with that. I was kind of thinking that, and I was like, let's not exaggerate. But it could have been a
Between
month.
3 weeks to a month, I'd say.
Yeah. So, all right.
I've had the life.
Is your turn.
All right. Next, I'm going to go with Dark Cloud 2.
Is that the
Never played-
JRPG town builder?
Yeah, the one from the old PS2 days. That
Okay.
so many people still rank as like one of the best perfect 10 out of 10 JRPGs of all time.
And you
I remember
playing it on the PS2 or something more recent?
Well, we played it on the PS2, and I remember you and me mocking the main character in the story relentlessly. And Again, I was not the most thoughtful or intelligent of gamers back in the day. Excuse me, back in the day. So I got maybe to the second or third area on the PS2 and just quit because like I don't want to try and figure out how this works. But the thing about me is I'm a completionist. So, after 15 years of that being a game I never finished, it's like, okay, well, it's on sale on PlayStation. I never finished the game. I want to see how the game goes to the end. And admittedly, after saying I'm a completionist, that doesn't help me because to get the platinum, you have to go through all this special final dungeons and super bosses. So it's just a game in general. It's not that bad, but it's definitely nowhere near as great as everyone says it was or tries to make it out to be. But if you're trying to platinum that game, that final dungeon is one of the worst I've seen because it almost was like I don't want to say Souls-like, but it was one of those like, okay, you have to get through every section perfectly, know where enemies are coming before they jump out at you, know what their attacks are. Just, I don't know. It probably took me almost just as long to beat the main game as it did to beat that one last dungeon to get the platinum, and it just sucked. All the fun and enjoyment. Yeah. All the fun and enjoyment I had mildly built up in that game just went away, gone, and forgotten. And again, people can just say I'm not a good gamer. In some situations, I will agree with you. But for that one, it just was like, okay. When you're at max level with all the best equipment and the game's still like, okay, 2 shots, you're dead. By the way, there's 7 enemies and they have homing attacks that chase you. Have fun.
See, we don't actually want you to beat our game because we like our game. We worked really hard on it, and you just die.
Because, I don't know if you remember, but I remember calling you a couple of times when I was playing that, and it was just profanity everywhere in that phone call.
I will be honest, I don't remember specifically. Not that you call me cussing a lot, but you had said that we played it on the PlayStation 2, and I'm like, oh, good for us. I have no memory of that.
Yeah, I remember we made fun of the main character when we played on the PS2 because every cutscene started with, "This reminds me of you, mother."
I vaguely recall that phrase now that you say it.
Yeah, it's like every cutscene for the first 2 hours started with him remembering his mom and everything. She's like, okay, we get it. Got mommy issues. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Some elements of that game, fun. Some parts, enjoyable. But overall, I regret picking that up just to be like, well, I never finished this. Let's find out why. Should have remembered if I didn't finish it, there was a reason.
I got a couple that I want, but I can't think of. Maybe you can help me. What was that game that I played a year ago, and I got the platinum for it, but the trophies just completely... Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I already knew what you were saying.
Yeah. The next 2 are going to follow a theme of they could have been great, but the trophies ruin the experience. And
I guess you could put Dark Cloud for me under that qualification.
I have no hate to the game itself, and I freely admit I set out specifically to one and done that because I hate replaying games, and I know you're supposed to play that game twice, but those trophies and the stress of it all ruined that game for me. Was that on my ranking video, or did I miss that one? Not miss it, but was it the year before?
That won your award for trophies ruin the game.
Yeah. See? So I did get it. Okay. There was another game where I really wanted it in there, but it missed the cutoff, the specifications. So yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah, I knew Guardians was going to be on this list at some point.
I'm sure the game is fine. I could never play it again under any circumstances and it be enjoyable because the trophies just ruined the entire experience and soured me to it entirely. If you like that game, cool. Feel free to tell me why I'm wrong in the comments because that's engagement. But I'm just going to shake my head and go, nope, disagree. No one will make me like that game.
But no, I would. I disagree with you on Guardians being a bad game, but I agree with you on the trophies for that greatly dampening the experience of that game.
Yeah, like if they made a sequel and they fixed all my problems, I would still probably not play the sequel.
Especially because that game has a bad issue with if you take just one step too far, you miss like an item that is required for a trophy.
Yeah, a lot of missables.
Without much actual, clear-cut instructions of go here to find this one. Because yeah, I remember going through the level select a couple of times to get the platinum on that one. It's just like, could you just say it's here, not past the blue circle, but beneath the red triangle after you kill the 5th person?
And your lucky level select worked because in the trophy guide it said that it wasn't guaranteed, and I'm like, well, then I have to get it all. I ain't doing it, man.
I played through about 2/3 of the game because I was told level select didn't work, and I finally went, you know what? I'm gonna risk it, and thankfully it worked.
Hey, so can I give my other one that fits in this category real quick, since they kind of pair off of each other?
No, we have unspecified rules that were never agreed on, and we have to not follow them.
Okay.
Wait. Go for it.
I can do it anyway because I control the editing. So, yeah. So the other one I actually just finished today. The video is saving as we speak so that I can upload it to YouTube. But going along with good game, trophy ruined it. Well, this one's just a trophy. I just finished Old Man's Journey, which is supposed to be this chill, cozy, indie, thought-provoking, story-centric game. And all the other trophies are either blatantly story-related or like, hey, click on this old lady who's hanging her wash and get a trophy. Or click on this person and get a trophy, right? And then you get to this one where they expect you to, because in the game you don't, it's point and click, but you also control the scenery. So if I'm not standing on a particular hill, I can move the hill up or down so that it intersects with where I am, and then I can continue on my journey, right? Point and click puzzle game. Okay. So during this train mission, you are supposed to connect the disconnected pieces of track by moving them up or down, which it's terrifying to think that a train just took off on an incomplete track. But if the train ever taps its brakes, you lose your opportunity at the trophy. So if you have it tap its brakes, you have to restart from the checkpoint. It's like 20-30 seconds of the old man standing up, getting back on the train. It chugga-chuggas off, and then it's probably another 15 seconds till the first thing you actually have to do. By the way, while you're trying to control this, you're moving a little finger around, little hand around with a finger up with the left stick. There's no way to adjust the sensitivity of this. It moves at the speed it moves, and that's all. And then when you get to something, you have to press and hold X to move it around. And it doesn't just lock into place. You have to align it. So it's not just a matter of get it close. I have to line the track up with everything else. And again, if the train stops or slows down, you start over, and they give you about, I'll be generous and say you get 4 seconds max to identify where these things are that need to be moved and move them into place. And they will put 2 or 3 of them on screen at the same time. So you got 4 seconds for the first one, 3 seconds for the second one, and maybe 2 seconds, maybe 1 second for the third one. And as you're moving around, from time to time, even when you're clearly on the thing you need to click on and you click on it, it doesn't register as a proper click and it grabs something else. Or it just decides you didn't click at all. And you have to hit the actual physical object. So if it's an arch bridge, I can't grab the empty space in the middle. I have to grab the bridge, which makes sense. But it means that you are running around all over the place trying to grab at the exact things you need while trying to get this done. And I am not a rage gamer. No hate to people that are. I actually have several YouTubers that I look up to. I love everything about them, but they get mad and rage. And people tune in for that, and it annoys me, so I quit watching their stuff. Still subscribe, still interact, still hit like, but I'm not a rage gamer. I was literally stomping my feet in my room by myself, not even filming myself, losing my Christian, and embarrassing myself over this stupid little game. It made me more mad than anything in Cuphead. But Cuphead is supposed to be hard. You know that going into it. This is supposed to be easy. It's not what I showed up for. So yeah, Old Man's Journey. I regret playing it. Got the platinum now. I regret playing it because that was stupid, and I don't like those trophies. So rant over. Can you tell I just did it today? I'm still bitter.
No. Totally can't tell. Alright, so that it for your...
Yeah.
So do I need to do 2 now?
You can do however many you want to do. They paired well together.
Yep. I think I'll get my most likely controversial one out of the way now. Spider-Man 2.
You know what? Put that on my list too.
Spider-Man 1 was amazing, fantastic, pun not intended for being called a Spider-Man game. I enjoyed nearly everything about the first one. I'll admit, when I did the DLC from Miles, it was fun, but I was like, okay, I don't think this is nearly as good as everyone says it was. I was a little worried when 2 came out, and the worry never went away.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. I've been shooting water into this little crack trying to figure out what to do and figured it out.
Hey,
Sorry.
I've been trying to figure out where that remaining percentage was on that as well. Don't forget the parts that opened up.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, no, just like Spider-Man 2, within, I'd say even the first hour, I was already going, oh no, I'm not gonna like this one. And just the feeling and direction and everything, it's like, yep, that never went away. It just grew and grew, and it was like, I'm struggling to even beat this game. It's just, it's not enjoyable. The story sucked.
We paid full price for that game too.
The characters were all more annoying and dumb. The few elements that I did enjoy were all gone. Even the combat and the swinging was fun. The swinging was still good. The traversal was still probably the best part of the game.
Yes, but the little fly vest thing annoyed me. That they added, like it made it worse.
It was unnecessary, and then they made a character trait for some things, so that was just a learning curve, but did eventually get it. But yeah, it was just It's one of those where I feel like the first one was so well received that I don't know if it could have lived up to the expectations for it, but finally got that stupid hinge.
I actually, a couple days ago, I watched a YouTube video from a guy called Tactical Bacon Productions. I don't know if you've ever heard him or not.
Fantastic name.
It is, and his intro is just maybe 4 pieces of bacon frying in a pan. Like, I don't even eat bacon, and I can appreciate that. But he was talking about how he didn't like that game and he couldn't figure out why, so he played all 3 back to back to back, and he's like, oh, you can actually see the slow, methodical decline of these games as time goes on. So yeah.
But yeah, and also just as you and I have joked about playing time, it's like, okay, Spider-Man, superhero. One of the most popular, well, actually the most popular for Marvel. Pretty much the entire second game is just he fails.
This is why he sucks. It was like they got tired of writing for him or didn't want to do Spider-Man anymore. They wanted to do something else.
Like, yeah, but Miles is better at everything. Okay, well, we gave Spider-Man a suit that's specifically designed to fight Venom and his symbiotes. Okay, but all Mary Jane needs is a stun gun.
Yeah. And you know me, the thing about me is I don't care what you believe. Just be logically consistent about it, right? Why is Peter Parker this alleged genius, but he's using a weapon weaker than something that he could just pick up off of the street corner? Like,
yeah.
if the stun gun one-shots, why isn't he using it? Yeah, we could do an entire probably episode on why that game was trash.
One might say I can't fully judge the game on this aspect, but they announced 3 DLCs
with
for that
graphics
game?
and dates.
Yeah. Yeah, and at least 2 of them sounded fantastic. And then they scrapped them and said, oh, yeah, no, that was never actually planned. We don't know how that got out there.
Never mind that it came out on their website.
I mean, I could go farther and more in detail, but I don't want to on certain aspects, but it's just like, yeah, that...
Well, and especially when you talk about this one, and let me try to say this delicately. Because of how media has been portrayed, it's very us versus them on a lot of things, and if you don't like that game and other games, then they assume it's because you don't like us or them or whichever side you want to ascribe it to, right? And it's like, it's not even about that. It's about just objectively, it was not as good of a game. And my big complaint, and don't get me wrong, I did not mind the stealth missions. I didn't even mind the missions where you were the girl and you were spray painting stuff, right? Like, none of that was bad in and of itself, but I paid $70 for a Spider-Man game. I would like to play as Spider-Man. I would like Spider-Man to be the star of this thing and to be celebrated and be awesome because that's the game that I bought. It has nothing to do with anything else. I paid to play as Spider-Man. I would be just as mad because I like Superman and Batman just fine. But if I bought a Batman game and I played as Superman the whole time, what am I doing? Yeah, end rant.
All I'll say real quickly is, okay, you've done, with Miles Morales, you've done 3 Spider-Man game now. Go back to Ratchet and Clank and let Rockstar make us a Punisher game.
I like it. I'm going to switch over to Tomb Raider, I guess. So let's...
Yeah, it's like, let's have either a Punisher game or a open world Ghost Rider game.
We almost made it an episode without, peeing in someone's Cheerios. Like I said at the beginning, I'm on a cleaning up my backlog kick. So there's a lot of games when I got my PlayStation because I wasn't a trophy hunter. there's a lot of games I tried playing because it's like, oh, I
You're
got
welcome
PS.
for that drug fix.
Yeah, thanks. Crack might have been less disruptive, but anyway, there was a lot of games that because I got the membership, the PSN. What is the name of this membership thing? Gives you the
That's
free
the
games.
PSN profile or membership, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Anyway, I got that because you recommended it, and that gave me access to hundreds of free games. So I was trying to get my wife hooked on playing game. I mean, she's always been a gamer, but trying to convert her over to this from the Nintendo. And we probably played 24 games that were kind of fun. But now I've got trophies, and now
That work
those
just
trophies,
Lego.
yeah, now those trophies are stuck, and I will never be able to get them all done, either because it's not worth my time investment, or I just don't have the skill. But like, I got the Avency is a rhythm game,
Yeah.
and it's fine, but I'm never gonna have that one done. So it's gonna be bringing down my percentages forever because that's too hard for me. The requirements. Or I've got everybody golf because, hot shots. And that was fun. We had fun for 20 minutes, and now it's on my profile. And if I'm not mistaken, getting to level 50 in that game is the most rare trophy that I do not have from any game I have ever played. And if it's not the most rare, it is definitely in the top 5.
Next on my list, I'm gonna go with Assassin's Creed Mirage. And I regret playing it just simply because I regret that game existing. It had no purpose. It added nothing other than somewhat retelling the first Assassin's Creed game, but worse.
Well, it tied into Valhalla. But yeah, the purpose of that game was just to sell another Assassin's Creed because it had been time period of time without one.
But it was like that's the thing. I mean, it pretty much though was almost the first one. Time period wise, character wise, item wise, like just remake one. One could easily be remade because admittedly, I know you haven't played one. It was a fun game, but it was horribly repetitive.
Yeah.
Like when people complain about repetitive games, that would probably be one of the first ones I would think of. I mean, I honestly believe there was only like 4 side missions of variation that you had to do about 20 times each one.
There was actually only 4 gameplay loops, and they just
pretty much
made
it was.
work.
Yeah, it was you walked up to a person, they're like, "Oh, you're pretty fast. Let's do a race," or "I need you to follow this person," or "Kill this guy," or "Please deliver this message. Don't get caught." That was it. It was those 4 missions between assassinations, over and over. And this was before you could swim, so if you fell into a river or a creek, you died and you had to start over.
All right, well, here's my last set. Is along the same lines. AAA games that I regret playing. And it's no hate to the games. They're both, I'm going to do another twofer, but they're both good games. They were just big open world, and I started them and I was not ready for them. And because they were so big, I burned out. But Sleeping Dogs, which is a fantastic game, and Days Gone, which the game itself is great, but it seems like everyone else associated with that game in any capacity is not. So, yeah. Maybe one day I'll get around to playing them again.
Not gonna lie, Discord just kicked me out, so I missed everything you just said.
Oh, well, welcome back. I said that I had two more, and then I was done. And they're both big open world games that are fun and well made, and there's nothing wrong with them. But because they're so big, I got overwhelmed and I quit. But it's Days Gone and Sleeping Dogs.
Okay. Not played either one, so I have nothing to say or add on those.
Especially Sleeping Dogs was a good idea. It was basically GTA, but you're a cop. And
Yeah. I've generally heard nothing bad about Sleeping Dogs. That's usually on the list of like games that should have had a better shot.
did you have any more to fire off before we wrap it?
Oh, I've got one list, or one left for the list. It was held off at the end because it's the one I regret the most.
Okay.
That is Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise.
I wondered if that was going to make the cut.
Oh, it cleared the cut. Even more than Kena, I would say if there was a game where I could erase the fact that I ever played it from the existence of my life, it'd probably be that one.
You were on that for like a month. You suffered.
I suffered for my own personal goal and the fact that I'm not a Squaresoft or Square Enix, whatever you want to call it, fanboy or apologist. I will say if they've done a mistake, but I definitely defend them more than most people do, especially nowadays. No defense for that game. Didn't need to be made, didn't need to exist, it ruins at least in my mind, it ruins the original Final Fantasy story. It just... Ugh. It was all around bad and sucked. Yeah, characters were one note and bland. Combat was just all over the place and annoying. The customization was probably the most decent thing about the game, but even that wasn't anything to praise too much. Just all around, it was just that game was a huge disappointment for me.
Which, yeah, you don't fanboy for anybody, but you are definitely an enjoyer of their products normally. So for you to say that, even when they change stuff, you're like, yeah, I mean, it may not be for me, but I can see what they're doing. But for you to come out that strong, it's got to be bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one just nope. It's number one. It's gonna sit at number one for very long time. Hopefully, it will never lose that spot because I don't want to think about having played a game that annoyed me before. Yep.
All right. Well, that's our list. Let us know in the comments what you think. And until next time, everyone. We'll see you later. Bye for now.